Hi everyone, my name is Allison Rodman, founder of The Learning Loop, and welcome to this week's Learning Lift. This is episode 50, Looking Ahead. I filmed my first Learning Lift for you all almost 2 years ago to the day in early July 2019. And I have to admit, during those early months, there were times when I was consistent, and there were times when months might pass before I uploaded a new video. But at the beginning of the 2020 school year, I committed to filming and sharing a learning lift every single week. I don't know if it was my need to continue connecting with clients and partners and other members of my network amid a time and a space that felt so incredibly uncertain for all of us. But I knew that I needed to keep showing up in some way, and I needed to maintain those connections and relationships that those of you who have worked with me know are so incredibly important to my work. So here we are, the end of the 2021 school year, and 50 learning lifts later. I'm looking ahead to what this work in the professional learning space, as well as the work building educator social emotional capacity, has the potential to look like, sound like, and feel like moving forward. And there's some things that come into mind that I hope we keep as priorities in this work. First, we need to maintain a consistent focus on people over process. While it can be very easy to turn to the forms and the steps and the administrative tasks of what it means to run schools successfully day in and day out, the reality is real people show up to those spaces. People who look for belonging, connection, and safety with one another. Because as educators, the work that we do is incredibly vulnerable. And unless we maintain that focus on our people over the process, we're not going to be able to engage with each other or with our students in the way that we can and should be. Second, I hope that we continue to make time to pause as much as we push. I know that there are words around learning loss and schooling loss and lots of other terms being thrown around right now as we look ahead to fully opening for those schools who did not have an opportunity to do so this year, and welcoming with open arms both our staff and our students back into our physical spaces. I recognize that we will need to push, that there will be certain things where it will be challenging to come back into the space and get back to where we want to be with students. But in that moment, in that desire to push forward and to make sure that our kids have everything that they need, I also don't want us to lose sight of the importance of that pause. Because in those pauses, in those quiet spaces, we find time for reflection to make stronger choices, more intentional decisions, and select the most strategic approaches that are going to leave all of us collectively in a better space together. So with that, be sure that as much as you push, you are continuing to pause. And finally, I want to ensure that we have that time for reflection and time to reimagine. That we're not simply reclaiming all of the instructional and the professional learning practices that we were utilizing pre-pandemic simply because we're moving back into physical spaces. There is an opportunity here, if we don't miss it, to reimagine what learning across our system has the potential to look like. There may be practices from during pandemic that we want to retain. There will be some that we want to let go of. But please do not lose this opportunity to reflect and to reimagine what the future of learning can look like for our students as well as the adults in our spaces. So thank you for sticking with me. We made it all the way to episode 50. I hope that you will continue to be a part of this learning community. And I would love to hear from you on social media at The Learning Loop about some of the things you're thinking about as you look ahead. Have a great week.